One of the marks of having come to a real maturity in our faith is to hear this familiar parable of the prodigal son and to recognize ourselves in it. Most especially to recognize ourselves in that son who ran away from home and squandered his inheritance. That son who was lost and found. This is our story. This is the story of God the Father's love for us, even though in different seasons of our life we live as if he were dead. We live far from him, and we waste his gifts. None of those things can get in the way of the Father's love for us. In the parable, the son himself, when he hits that hard rock bottom, remembers that he has a home. He remembers his father's house, and in shame resolves to return there. But for many of us, in our season as prodigal sons and daughters, when we hit rock bottom, we need someone to remind us that we have a home with God. We need someone at our side, accompanying us on that hard and long journey back home. And this fact of our needing help, our needing a voice to remind us where we are from and whose we are, helps us understand the declaration we heard in the second reading from St. Paul. So we are ambassadors for Christ, as if God were appealing through us. I think if we reflect for a moment, all of us have enjoyed an ambassador for Christ in our lives. Maybe it was a parent, maybe a grandparent, maybe a devout neighbor or friend. Maybe someone in our life who had just a little more faith than we did, who gently but clearly told us when we had ears to hear that God was ready to welcome us back, that God desires that we live close to him, not far. All of us have benefited from the ministry of ambassadors for Christ. The truth is, all of us, as recovering prodigal sons and daughters who are returning to the Father's house, have this ambassadorial responsibility. It's significant that the prodigal son leaves his father's house and lives in a foreign country, a place far away from home. Ambassadors live in foreign countries. Ambassadors represent their home in a faraway place. And they advance the agenda of their home country in their foreign country of service. If you are appointed U.S. ambassador to France, you live in France, though you are an American. And while in France, you advance the interests of your home country, the United States. In this world of ours, we live, all of us, in a foreign country. This is not our home. And one of the great tragedies of sin, as we see in the parable, is to think that this foreign place is our home. We forget where we're really from. And it often takes a hard shock, hitting that rock bottom, to realize this is not our home. And it's then that we have ears to hear those ambassadors in our life reminding us, you have a home in heaven. Your home is not here. And you have a Father who loves you. He's ready to take you back. He's ready to clothe you with a robe and put a ring on your finger and sandals on your feet. This, brothers and sisters, is our mission. We are meant to carry this message to people who have forgotten where they're from, to people who have forgotten the love of their God, and who are suffering and wasting away because they are far in heart from their home. This is our great responsibility and privilege. Ambassadors are a big deal, and you are a big deal, because there are so many people out there who are afraid to darken the door of this church. They don't know that this is their home. And Christ has commissioned you to be his ambassador to those places where people have forgot. And it's your job to remind them and point the way home, to point the way here, where our Father is waiting for us, where our Father watches for us and longs for our return. We are meant to be his agents, his instruments, his ambassadors. The way we thank God for being found after we ourselves were lost is to carry that message to the lost, so that they too might be found by their Father who loves them, by our Father who loves us and is always watching for us, always waiting for us to come home.